Hello everyone and welcome to Cyrano's story. This is the part of the show where we go through and figure out how reliable my notes are from 6 months ago. But all joking aside, Cyrano's story is a Moons of Madness ARG that came out shortly before it was initial PC release. It was a web version. It had some live events. A little bit for a moment. It had some live events. The current version that's available on Steam for free has those live events worked out. They've added new content, so it makes more sense as a self-contained game. Obviously, it doesn't make any sense to release a game and then have people try to go to find a thing in the middle of Berlin that was there 6 months ago and is no longer there. That doesn't make any sense. So there's going to be some changes. There's some expanded puzzles. There's some new content that I've been told. I've had the game for a little bit, but I didn't actually jump into it. I was kind of waiting to see what the finished product was, or when they started hyping it up a little bit. They haven't really started hyping it up yet. It's there, it's available, but they've only sort of started to get it out, start the tweet campaign and stuff. But I've played this through a couple times before. There's going to be some points where you have a chance to win the game. Obviously, I already own the game. So if I do get it, I'll have an extra code here somewhere. I'm going to keep just display capture on in case I decide to look some stuff up. Bring another Google tab over here. All right. I say I have a few notes, but I'm not sure how much sense they're gonna make. Pretty much my notes are designed to, these are all the cool things you can try. They're not always, this is the cool thing that actually worked. So it's going to be interesting. But I think that's part of the fun of it, is playing it through with, I don't know everything. I don't remember everything. I don't have all the answers. So we'll go ahead and play it through that way. But let's go ahead and get started. Again, if you're not aware of the backstory here, Cyrano's story was an ARG that was part of the lead into Moons of Madness. Moons of Madness is based on Secret World Legends. So there's a whole interconnected world there. Secret World Legends is free to play. Cyrano's story is free to play. Moons of Madness is pretty darn cheap. It's on sale right now for like, I think it's 12 bucks, 13 bucks, I'm not sure. It's not much. So all worth playing in the quarantine catch-ups and the co-video game catch-ups. So definitely worth a look at. So let's just go ahead and get started so we can get the puzzles going. I think my current progress might be from the web game, or it might just be like, this is how the interface starts. Really weird, but we're gonna start from the beginning.
Welcome, newcomers, to the immersive and mind-blowing puzzle world of Cyrano Story.
This is all new.
This permanent alternate reality game created by Allison Smith is a short and complex adaptation of the transmedia ARG experience that took place in 2019 during the launch of Funcom's cosmic horror game, Moons of Madness. To thank devoted fans and help upcoming Moons of Madness players get in the mood for horrific otherworldly missions, our team has adapted the Cyrano story game and made it accessible for all right here for free. To get started, simply click on your first moon, analyze the given visual clues, find links between them, and give it your best guess. Write your answer anywhere in the darkness and wait for a response from the entity. You can speak with this invisible force as many times as you'd like. You'll know you've broken a seal when one of Dr. Olivia Mason's transmissions has been unlocked. Keep in mind that most of these puzzles were originally designed to be solved by entire online communities. In fact, we would be stunned if anyone would be able to complete this ARG without opening at least a few hundred browser tabs. So, feel free to reach out to the Cyrano Story community on Discord for clues or take a look at the various ARG collectives by clicking on resources below. Whatever you make your experience out to be, shoot for the moon. This is a challenging game and we hope you have fun playing it.
That was cool. Yeah. So that I've never seen that opening. Obviously, the other version of the game didn't have that in there, so that's cool. Difficulty sane. Oh, I see. This one's puzzle is sane difficulty. Okay, so what we do is we go through here and we get things. Then looking at him darkly, Zeus, who gathers the clouds, spoke to him. Do not sit beside me and whine, you double-faced liar. To me, you are the most hateful of all gods who hold Olympus. Forever quarreling is dear to your heart, wars and battles. This wars and battles and, you know, God of War type thing, right? Greek and Roman sculpture. So the quick answer is probably something like Aries, right? But no. Okay, so here's a moon. This is probably going to be, you know, Mars related, right? So, related to Aries, related to the moon, or moons of madness, would be Phobos and Deimos. So, if we do Deimos,
you're getting closer. We are getting stronger.
get close. So we'll try Phobos. Huh, didn't work. Hmm.
You're getting closer. We are getting stronger.
Maybe.
You're getting closer. We are getting stronger.
Okay, so it's not Aries, Mars, Phobos, Deimos. That does look like Am I missing? Not missing any pictures. So we'll go up here and go double faced liar Mars Harry's myths. Yeah, there it worked. What is your fear? I'm alone. What is your fear? Am I alone? Am I alone? Exhaustion is creeping in, but I'm too anxious and scared to accept that I have to go to sleep. Is she afraid of being alone or sleeping? Oops, why did it pop out there? There we go. It seems to have some problems where it doesn't always recognize. We can try alone. Am I alone? That obviously doesn't seem to be doing it, but could just be the thing. But let's try sleeping.
Are you alone?
Now, obviously, you can say no or yes, right? What happens if you say yes?
No. You are not.
No, you
Dr.
are
Olivia
not.
Mason, September 5th, 2019. Personal log number 47. I've had trouble sleeping again. There's a voice that... Everyone is stressing the importance of regular rest. Dr. Olivia Mason, September 5th, 2019. Personal log number 47. I've had trouble sleeping again. There's a voice that... Everyone is stressing the importance of regular rest, given my illness. I'm quarantined for the foreseeable future, maybe until the end of the trip. I can't abide idle time. I can't just stare at the ceiling. So I've taken on a side project. Call it cutting edge. Call it crazy. But if I can advance it, that might buy me back some goodwill with the company. The rest of the crew doesn't know what I'm up to. I'm sure they don't care. And Nav report submitted. The company doesn't concern itself with the human touch. They have alarms for every type of report or inspection. At first, it's just annoying, but after 9 months in, every alarm is like sandpaper on your nerve endings. I mean, I would think it was a psychological experiment by the company, if I didn't know better. Arigato, Trevor-san. I am sure we never could remember without... Fuck! Things you don't think about when you daydream of space travel as a kid, lack of privacy, and just how much professional astronauts can get on each other's nerves when crammed into a vessel. It's the last leg of this long journey, and I mean, we're bound to get snippy with each other. We were even prepped for that in workshops, but I've been getting static from them for a while. None of them believe me. They whisper hypochondriac to each other. And it doesn't matter what they believe. The quarantine protocols are stringent and clear. If a crew member suspects they are sick, quarantine is enforced, regardless of the probability. They have to go through the motions, and that just makes them angrier. I'm pretty sure they think I'm making it up. I thought it would be the company that came down on me for this, but they remain cordial. They poke and prod me with test after test. They keep pawing me with medical questionnaires that rival the 100-page NDA that got me up here. Mom, Dad, if you listen to some redacted version of this someday, I'm sorry I told you that I was in an undersea lab in the Mariana Trench. Test after test comes up negative. They say they can't find any physiological ailment, but I mean, they will, they've got to. Something is wrong, I can feel it. But I'm more than this illness. This side project of mine, I'm near a breakthrough. If I can just... My body wants to sleep, but my mind is adamant about staying awake. I can still remember that dream. The darkness. Someone keeps repeating something. It's... damn. It's just on the tip of my tongue, you know? Good night, Mars. See you soon. Dr. Olivia Mason, Navigation Specialist of the Cyrano, signing off.
There's a lot to unpack in this first message. It's very dense. There's a lot of stuff that's going on in it. There's the fact that it's 2019. She's in quarantine, which is, you know, amusing. But it's set in 2019. They're on the Cyrano on the way to Mars. Now, if you played Moons of Madness, that's a problem. And so it gets really interesting. And it's going to get more so both as we play this and if you play Moons of Madness. Which we'll probably play again, you know, at least by Halloween, if not sooner. But yeah, so there's a lot going on there. She's got talking about the company she's got, which is obviously Orochi. She's got an illness of some sort that really doesn't seem to be an illness. That she can really but she's hearing static. Which could be, you know, filth, even not filth. Could be buzzing, could be all sorts of different things, right? And all the while we have this voice guiding us. There is a whole bunch of stuff here. Are in the NDA. It's pretty basic stuff. I've unredacted this at some point. But one of the big things is this date down here is different. Let's see if I can find it. If I can find the actual redacted one. I actually placed a copy of it way back in the back. Way back when it was on the Allison Smith and the Game Detectives page Discord, but I think I've since lost it. Not that, obviously. In the downloads here. I probably updated my hard drive at some point, so might not actually be in the downloads anywhere. But it's not really crucial. It's just that the NDA date is after when she says she's already on the way there. It's a little weird. Now we've got a new moon that has been unlocked. That's the first puzzle, right?
Your fear has not prepared you for this.
That picture really doesn't make a whole lot of sense out of context, really. Quintus Teal. But people figure it out. There's lots of things you can enter here. I'm just not sure how effective the whole deal is going to be. because it is having problems accepting inputs, which I'm a little worried about that. Obviously, there's some stuff there. If you just go kind of basic with your answer, they won't like it. Huh, they didn't really say anything.
How unimaginative.
And there's this person is very much involved in early relativity, early gravity, stuff like that. Early theories about that. So you can try things like gravity. Really disappointing that you have to say everything multiple times. This is not how it was at all during the ARG. Some things just literally don't even work.
Yes. You're thinking outside the box. You're slowly awakening.
So that is a clue in of itself. There's geometry, relativity, gravity. The pictures that we have there. Thinking outside the box, right? Well, a box moving outside a box and a box moving through space and time would be a tesseract, right? So you can try that. And maybe without the caps. Maybe I'll try that.
Yes. You're thinking outside the box.
So still only
Slowly awakening.
still on the right track. So more simplistic to boil it down, you know, tesseracts would be fourth dimension, right? So if I can spell it right.
Initial seal was broken.
We get two more of the symbols that pop up. And all the pictures that we are seeing, you'll see, you can find out where this is. This is obviously Cygnus, right? Stuff like that. There's a lot of this imagery is related to cubism. And again, I've taken a lot of time research this already. So a lot of it is, I already know what it is. But if you really wanted to go do and everything in here connects. It really is. There isn't really much of things where it's not, the answer isn't right here that you can't go research and find out. Some of it's very obscure, and some of it you will just overthink the answer to no end. You will be thinking of the most minute detail ever, and like gravity, relativity, tesseract, doing the names and people and dates, and it's just fourth dimension. Okay, so it plays with you a little bit there, because sometimes it is a really obscure answer, and sometimes it's like, oh man. But obviously Cygnus is what we found here, right? So let's see what they say. If we can get them to respond. They should respond to everything. See, like it flashes like it's going to say something, but then doesn't.
Yes. One of many configurations.
Okay, so Cygnus is one of many configurations, they say. So we can maybe look at, you know, cubism, relativity, Cygnus, and you'll kind of go down this whole that leads you to more like black holes and portals and theory, stuff like that, you know, the 60s, 70s sci-fi stuff, right? This is probably, I mean, obviously this just came out yesterday, so I don't feel too, you know, I don't put too much on them. But the having to type things in over and over is a little annoying. I'm not sure if that's a problem with my religion or what. Not my religion, my resolution. Well, yeah, it's a problem with my religion. They're anti whatever the hell I'm not. But yes, so I'm not sure if that's part of it. I don't think it should be. But yeah, since all the interactions here work fine. And this is a picture of a black hole, right? The second seal was broken. Again, a lot of this art is related to cubism.
Yes, their artists were afflicted early on.
So there's some sort of indication that there was give yourself to the great old ones. Yes, exactly. That's my religion. I give myself to the great Cthulhu. But again, this is where we're getting into a point where we've got all these things that lead us down all these roads, and really at this point we're just looking at this picture, which is a photon ring of a black hole. So that's what we put.
Yes, that's the Trinity. The seal is exposed.
Silence.
Dr. Olivia Mason, September 9th, 2019, personal log number 54. Okay, so sleep is still a little elusive. That said, I'll always take this frenzy of a new theory than simple, unimaginative dreams. Although, not that my dreams have really been simple much lately. I know, I'm on a ship hurtling through Mars on a mission my clandestine corporation is keeping a secret from the rest of Earth. That should be the dream, right? Right?
Oh yes, in Antarctica from the
other
last
project.
mission.
Oh my
was
god, I haven't
important.
told any of the others. I can't. They'd laugh at me. I couldn't blame them. It's so far out there. Okay, so I dug through the company's archives, everything that they have for the work of Dr. Newhart. She's something of a mathematics superstar. I mean, she's a bit infamous on account of her theories turning really strange at the end and having some kind of nervous breakdown and vanishing from her family years ago. Full disclosure, I was a bit of a fan. I read all of her books, including The Impossible Angles and Spaces Between the Wall of Sleep. The company tried to hire her for years and she always turned them down. And I know how frighteningly persuasive the company can be, but she still turned them down. More power to her. But these archives, my god, they have work she never published. I mean, most of it's incomplete, but how did they even get this? It's this grand patchwork of theories from Planck, Heisenberg, Riemannian, Sir Arthur Stanley Eddington, as well as the notes of less reputable sorts. It hints at cracking the code of the geometry and curvature of space, like unlocking the higher dimensions of non-Euclidean reality, bending space, folding space, finding shortcuts in between. I know. Like I said, it's way out there, but just a few hours ago, I made a link. Me. I solved a bit of the equation the rest of them were stuck on. It's like inspiration struck. It's unlocked something in my head, and my mind is moving faster than my hands can take notes. I think all of this might actually work. I mean, we're still light years from all that, but I'm closing the gap. I might never sleep again. God, I can't tell anyone, but once I get this down solidly, the company is going to salivate for it. This could change everything. It won't matter if they think I'm crazy, if they also think I'm a genius. Dr. Olivia Mason, navigation specialist of the Cyrano, signing off.
Again, still 2019. Talks about Dr. Newhart and her crazy wild theories. Not really a spoiler. The main character's name in Moons of Madness is Shane Newhart, and that does come into play eventually. There's a lot of this. Olivia's mindset is really like she's racing faster than her mind can really keep up with. Even her mouth can really keep up with. She's bah, 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 bah. And she's a navigation specialist. Okay, cool. But I mean, she's not, as far as we know, she's not some, super scientist. She hasn't been involved with this just for a particular reason, a particular skill set or anything like that. There's an interesting video that we watched last night where Jessica Meir talks about how astronauts are not always selected just for their skill set, but also their ability to get along with other people. But she does indicate that she is having problems getting along with other people. So something there. But there's a lot of pieces that they're throwing at you here that are backstory to Moons of Madness. That's why it's pretty important to play it, and that's why I kind of wanted to go through it again. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on there that I don't want to give like too many spoilers. But yeah, there's something going on, and they talk about before we unlock this transmission, they talk about artists getting afflicted with these wild ideas about black holes and tesseracts and photon rings and wormholes, and now suddenly she's picking up spontaneous inspiration to solve part of an equation to get wormholes. To get that idea. The Angelus Mark IV relay information to Deep Space Network on Earth. This really isn't anything other than just an Easter egg. These are the radio towers that are in Moods of Madness that you use to communicate back and forth. We have a new moon. Difficulty is crazy. Alright, so we've got coordinates here. If we put those coordinates in, it gives us the Galapagos Islands. Pretty straightforward. When the mind is moved by shock more fierce, we mark the whole soul suffering all at once. Along man's members, sweats and pallors spread. And Busk, Spencer, Hooker, Tyndall, you know, they put all these together, and they're part of the X Club, the secret group that discuss, you know, wild theories about Darwinism and such like that, right? So we can see what those answers get us.
Yes, such small islands that can hold so much diversity.
We can try the X Club.
Yes, advocates of this selective theory.
The selective theory they talk about. So we go to Darwin, right?
Yes, biology changed forever.
So Darwin, changing biology forever, a selective theory, Galapagos Islands. Pretty clear. This was one of those ones that I overthought it. I overthought it.
Another seal has been broken.
But it's just as simple as evolution. I mean, they even tell you this selective theory, you know. More Darwin. So, this flower here was important to research into evolution and was like one of the first things they used to prove mutation. So that's where we're...
Yes, the chrysalis is forming.
A 3-day transfer. And there's a ISBN number here. That leads to a book by Lax. I think was one of the people who we see here. Let's see, where is it? The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks. And there's a lot that goes on here. But basically, revolves around cancer and evolution, the study, and there goes on to more. So if you type in Lax, so her death allowed them to research more about cancer cells and stuff like that and get in there. So again, you move to cells. Or not. This is more than a little problematic, I gotta say.
Are you ready to evolve?
So, at this point, saying no does nothing. It's not a bug. It does nothing. But you can say yes.
Let us grow into you.
And the whisper is trying to say something to you, but the other voice
Olivia.
goes over
It's
it.
October the 15th. Personal log number. Whatever. No sleep. They threw me a birthday party. It was awkward. Forced smiles all around. I made pleasantries through the door, but mostly I just listened as they spoke to each other in a language I couldn't understand. There were moments, though, that I felt that I was beginning to recognize some of it, maybe. I don't really believe that, but I can't stop half hearing these words as something familiar. Ugh. I need to rest. My head feels fuzzy. I keep bumping into things and knocking all my papers over. But I want to focus on my work. Let me tell you a story, or a fascinating tidbit to get myself drowsy. So recently, back on Earth, some scientists experimented on chicken embryos. They blocked the proteins of 2 genes active in the formation of the chicken's face. You know what happened? Instead of a beak, the chicken embryos grew mouths with teeth like a dinosaur. It's a different way to look at what we inherit from everything that came before. I mean, it never goes away. It's only hidden there. It's like covered over. It's the secret language of our DNA. We're just books inside of a haunted library of wriggling things. We are filled to bursting with gills and claws and fins and tentacles, all of it ready to surge out of us, only held back by the thinnest scrim of a couple of proteins. It makes me wonder what is being held back by seemingly greater things than ourselves. If a carbon-based life form can be hiding all of this within their DNA, an individual's immortal cell could expand indefinitely with sufficient provocation. I believe this map holds the key. What else can I bless you with? What other captivating note can I leave this on? Well, I'm further down the rabbit hole now, past Newhart's unpublished notes, into supposed fragments of the Narcotic manuscripts, the Book of Eben, even the incomprehensible equations that were scratched into the cell walls of a witch who vanished from the Salem trials. I'm so close, This sequence in our blood is a melody that's radiating from a light that I'm trying to free. It's a source of power and a portal into the past. It's just like our DNA. I can't quite hear it yet, but I know that this part of us is because of it. I'm going to crack this. Then the company will have to recognize me. They can't stop this. They won't hide my work within their files away from the world. They can't stop me. This is me, Olivia, on the Cyrano, signing off.
They can't stop me. Going further and further down, not sleeping at all. Wild theories about evolving beyond humanity or regression even. Basically slowly turning against her crew, even though they've got her locked up in quarantine. I want to check one thing here.
Time after time is nothingness. You'll be one step closer to knowledge if you ascend outside of its realms. The merge is inevitable. This is not a dream. Und Gal Graf or Jed Con Ur Dal Drux Med Mons Der Dom Van Gief Van
Huh.
Seth.
There's nothing visual here. I just want to make sure it doesn't like give a key out or something. It's all words or sounds. Hello. Absolutely, absolutely. I enjoyed it. I've played it a few times through, but I really wanted to play the updated version, so absolutely glad to play it. A very hard one. Yeah, I like I say I've played it twice through previously when it came out, way back when. So I have lots of notes. When the mountains take leave of their senses. When the skies breathe their final breath. If you complete the ARG, there is indeed a key, but there is a clear warning you need to click before revealing it. Okay, good. Because I already have, like, 2 copies of Moons of Madness. I gave one away already. But, you know, extra keys are good, because then I can give them to other people. When the mountains take leave of the senses, when the skies breathe their final breath, when the moons rise never to wane again. The dream ends and there will be no remembrance for what never was. Let's see, one second. But yeah, I actually have like a pre-release copy of this, but I decided to wait off and play it until you guys were completely ready. No? Let's see. Difficulty insane. Well, yes, Olivia's definitely getting insane. And again, there's lots of things to unpack from what she says. You know, Salem witch trials and more about Newhart's notes and stuff like that. And, but they can't stop me is where you really start to get something is really wrong with Dr. Mason. I mean, it was obviously pretty clear in the first one, in the second one, where she's just going off the rails, talking like a mile a minute. But yeah, so and then she stopped saying the year, which is interesting. I don't know, the voices in her head are a clue too. Yeah, and see, and then you get into stuff where like she's got some voices, she's got some whispering, she's got some static. There's a whole bunch to unpack there, obviously. And the two voices are coming through to us, and they don't always seem to like each other very much. So we've got a Zodiac, got the egg here. So you can kind of go through here and you can get stuff like out of that you can get, you know, you can try a Zodiac. Listen to the voices, for they lie, tell the truth. Be mindful of the voices. You know, chaos is probably another good one, right? The statue, after quite a bit of research, you can get you come across this.
Yes. Compulsion make a great consort.
Oh no, I'm good. Thank you. Do. So again, you're getting more into the world egg and Kronos and Ophion, the Orphic egg, right? So you can, the one thing I like about this is that you can just kind of keep trying. And then I think you can eventually get down to that leads you down a path here. That I think I might have spelled it wrong. Or it could just be the input thing. There's a issue sometimes where it just doesn't like the answer, like I've talked about a little bit already today.
Burning the entrails would kill them all.
And he wants to burn. The Whisper wants to burn them all. And it's another one that I really overthought a little bit. There was the live event had some stuff related to Enochian lettering, but I don't think that's relevant here. Let's see if I put it in. Yeah, but you can at least make some good Knights of Badassdom references, right?
I now see the path that leads to the abyss.
Yeah, that's some good Doomstalker original right there. Yeah. If you haven't seen that movie, you need to go watch it. Knights of Badassdom, pretty awesome. But again, a little bit of overthinking. Just let him burn. But yeah, this seems to be a bug of some sort where it just doesn't like some of the answers. You have to keep trying it.
Time is the fire in which we burn.
In multiple places until it works. So, something to be aware of. It's
Dr.
not that
Olivia
it
Mason,
doesn't take the answer.
Personal log. Time feels meaningless. I've changed the flight coordinates and we move closer to the moons each day, yet the only sign of time moving forward is my own deterioration. I expected kickback from the crew, from the company, but everyone's a go. Despite my illness, they still trust me and will thank me later. My headphones, however, they were less than thrilled. They have been hissing at me. A voice is there. It's hidden within the static, and it's buzzing. A warped voice is present. It's trying to warn me of something, and it's different from the voices that come to me when I'm forced to rest from exhaustion. No, this is different. The buzzing voice is trying to make me stop. It's causing debilitating migraines. They are so severe that my nose starts to bleed. But I've put my headphones away now, so it can't get to me. You know, it's probably nothing. I'm probably just stressing myself out with how close I am to it. The voice is probably just my headphones somehow, picking up the crew speaking to each other, and I'm just looking for something that I can recognize within it. A sort of audio pareidolia. I'm so close. The work opens an event horizon in my head. It devours ignorance. Space is relative. Everything is connected in a perfect void. We're way past the Tillinghast theorem. The other dimensions are not so very other. We are not alien to them. The human brain contains vestigial structures, sensory organs that could detect these higher dimensions. They're not distant places. They might be an arm's length away, just in a direction that we have no word for and cannot truly comprehend. We might have vestigial organs, whole vestigial extremities in parallel places that we cannot even sense. We might be vast organisms. What were we? If one were to understand the secret geometries, one could reach out a hand and directly touch another person across the room, across an entire football field. I could reach inside and pull out an organ, dripping, palpitating, without leaving so much as an incision. You have to reach in a direction that's like diagonal, but not. The voice that whispers to me while I rest, it's very crafty. It's learned to mimic the voice of my conscience. It's interjecting into my own internal monologue. I fear how it may manifest in my thoughts. How much are they truly my own? I think the company knew about all of this. I think they'd let me find those files to set all of these events in motion. I think the Cyrano has a purpose beyond the crew's known mandate. I think they wanted me to be the only lab rat who can see the maze from above. Dr. Olivia Mason, navigation specialist of the Ship of Fools, signing off.
Not the Orochi. They would never do that. Never. I like how they have the hissing in the earphones and that sort of thing there. That's one of the reasons I'm really glad when they made Secret World Legends, and then when they did initially release Tokyo, the tank commander was not there. And the tank commander is such a great character. And the whole thing of him ripping out the circuitry in his tank to get the better of the voices and trick them and turning everything inside out, and it really jives with this really well. And I'm really glad that they put that back in, because so many players were like, you can't have Tokyo without that tank commander. And this whole thing just sort of solidifies that whole idea. Lucas, Mission Control wants you to crunch some numbers on a potential future visit to the 2 moons. Think over the logistics. And both Earth-launched and Mars-launched mission. Work through some calculations of both scenarios. Make this a priority. Also have a look at the moon's orbits. Phobos should be 1.4 Martian diameters out with a 7.66 hour orbit. But Mission Control says they showed up significantly closer and faster. Might be a glitch. I leave it to you. Again, more foreshadowing there. Good little Easter egg. Difficulty mental breakdown.
Knowledge is a dangerous thing, but ignorance is destruction.
So again, we get into some Enochian lettering and things that need to be translated. It's a lot of work. This is really hard. This took me. I think the first time through, I took a break, and I spent like 2 hours translating it all. It's not simple at all. And again, there's more. But it basically gets you all of this. And you get the Memorial D and 7. It's a bunch of numbers and me badly translating certain things. The reason why it doesn't work sometimes is because letters don't have one for ones. The Y's and W's and things are the same. So that's why it comes out a little weird. Let's see, you get the burial place of the sleeping prophet. So I think you can try sleeping prophet to see if it does anything. I'm not sure if I did that. Or if just prophet works. But eventually that leads you to case. And you get more into, you know, simple things like Book of the Dead, right? Book of Life, Book of Dead. Take it. Thought it was just Book of Dead. That might not be an actual answer. So the Book of Dead leads you to, like I say, the Book of Dead, Book of Life, they go back and forth, right? This leads you to the Akashic Record, which is more this part of the ARG was very difficult. I went down quite a few. It took forever just to translate the dang thing because I'm sitting there. I tried to do it like in my head at first, and that just didn't work. I eventually just like wrote it down and stuff. So, but so you'll get the Akashic Record should give us some more information. Assuming it will actually work. case still work? Nope. Case doesn't work either. There we go. So obviously, somebody who doesn't know their answers are right, like I do, might skip over their answers. So that's, again, if that's just me, great. But if that's a bigger problem, that definitely needs to be addressed. But again, like I say, it's only been out for a day. I give you guys that. You know, those things come up. Two moons closer together. More Enochian, which is specific passage in the Book of Enoch. I believe you can try Book of Enoch, but it doesn't really help. And wait ye indeed till sin has passed away, for their names shall be blotted out of the book of life and out of the holy books, and their seed shall be destroyed forever. And their spirits shall be slain, and they shall cry and make lamentation in a place that is chaotic wilderness. And then the fire they shall burn, for there is no earth there. So a little bit more stuff going on there, a little bit, and themes that we've already been talking about, burning and you know, and so on, so forth. So, and the voices and such, and obviously the two entities getting pulled together. I think you can try Methuselah. It doesn't seem to be working. Let's try Book of Life. Let's try the Book of Death. I know all of these had reactions in the web version. Don't know if they actually transferred over to this version. So there's some lag on my version. Yeah, this is the one that that I just installed when it came available free yesterday. Not sure, you know, if it's lag somewhere between where and there, or if this I don't know if there's some sort of, you know, conflict with older versions or what, but yeah, it's really there's just something where I have to type it in over and over until it finally connects through. And yeah, and see, like it's almost like it doesn't work until it loops through the graphic. Like it flickered there for a second. So I don't know. But this leads you eventually to Aquarian Age, you know, if you've watched any anime, right? So again, it's talking about shared inscriptions and going through, and you get similar works related to that. So you can try things like doweling. But that isn't like an ultimate answer, I don't believe. I think your final answer is just raw.
Much of your pain is self-chosen.
I have seen the dark universe yawning, where the black planets roll without aim, where they roll in their horror unheeded, without knowledge or luster or name. Hey, shh, it's all right. Remember, 7 and 9 down the onyx steps. That's it. We're getting closer to the moons. We have to be close when the moment comes. But not this close! You sick fucks. My private thoughts. Is my work entertainment to you? All you filthy little voyeurs. Do you feel clever because you managed to catch my signal and listen to my sufferings? Leeches! And to what end? Do you think that there's some kind of connection between us? To the moon and star, to the spaces of my mind, or the... Something is wrong. I can't hear their voices anymore. I just hear the noises of the ship going on like a ghost. Am I dead? Oh, no. No. I can't believe I've been doing work that will change reality for our species. You've been drawn in by something that is happening to me that I don't understand. Why is this happening? I don't think I did this. And I still can't hear them. I am so alone, except for you absentees. I can't hear them, but I think I'll hear it when I sleep. I wake into that horrible sound clawing into my core while I fall into the black-red muck. Oh. Shut up! 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 I solved forbidden equations that broke the minds of renowned men. I made sense of Gilman's indecipherable scribbling. I reached past the last curved rim of space, past blasphemous infinity. I unraveled the terrible cosmic narrative. I pored over myth cycles that predate humanity, read all the impossible names and the hideous contexts. I shake off the shackles of natural law. I'm the opener of the way. I part the veil. I draw back the curtain on nameless eons and inconceivable dimensions of elder, outer entity. I see them in the spaces between, reaching out to me with hands that are not hands. I have seen the face of God, and it is terrible. Oh, the rest of you, you're all complicit in this, but you can make it right, since I have an audience. I want you to recite something, all of you. Record it, spread it, and your voices will reach me through means not wholly known. This is important. Are you ready? Repeat this phrase after me. 7 and 9, down the onyx steps. 7 and 9, down the onyx steps. There will come a time when I see you, but you won't see me. This is me. I am nothing. Nothing exists, save empty space. And you are but a dream. Signing off.
That was fun when you had to record it all, singing it with all the other people. Mineralogical analysis of Martian soil and rocks. Deployed Manticore X spectrometer to analyze Martian rock. Lots of things. Dirt things they found. Provides information regarding the nature of the atmosphere, surface, chemical, and physical weathering process involved. Iron Bane phases. We shall find the relevant in studying the evolution of volatiles and climate over time on Mars. X3 spectrometer is a prototype of Manticore CNDA entry. You cannot talk about this at all. As Commander Wilcox runs our exploration, we will analyze a wider array of samples. Now, there's nothing here. The old version, you had to do something where you recorded your voice. I'm not sure. You'd say 7 and 9 down the Onyx steps, and then like it would replay with a whole bunch of other people. Is that correct? Is that? I'm not even sure that's the right spelling. And of course, I'm not sure if it's actually going to work or not. Alright, so the last part here. A couple things here and there, and hope I get the right one, or that it actually works when it's supposed to. Something feels missing, but hmm. Hmm.
I have seen the dark universe yawning, where the black planets roll without aim, where they roll in their horror unheeded, without knowledge or luster or name. Hey, shh, it's all right. Remember, 7 and 9 down the onyx steps. That's it. We're getting closer to the moons. We have to be close when the moment comes. But not this close! You sick fucks. My private thoughts. Is my work entertainment to you? All you filthy little voyeurs. Do you feel clever because you managed to catch my signal?
Hmm. Hello. Hmm. 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 Weird. Game Detectives doesn't seem to have a Cyrano channel anymore. Well, I am kind of at a loss. Say in the original one, you had the recorded incantation and it played through, and there's obviously something more here, but I'm just not getting it, or the lag thing is really causing me problems. I'm not sure what. I can't know if my answers are correct or if I'm just way off base, you know? Scene. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Okay. Well, kind of stuck here at this point. see something here. Hey, Drill Keg. How's it going? I'm doing fine because I have the notes and everything from my last playthrough. The problem is I've gotten to the last part and there's really no puzzle to be seen. So I'm kind of at a loss here. In the original, we would have we did the incantation and that moved on to the last part. This has nothing. So I'm a little at a loss. And I'm having some issues with some lag, so it doesn't always take my answers all the time. So, like, even if I type the right answer in, it doesn't always react properly, which is a definite problem. So I don't know. I tried to see if there was like an update or anything. There wasn't. I'm a little at a loss. But there's nothing here. But yeah, I've done all the parts that were there. I've done all the parts that were part of the original ARG. This part was not there. It was different. It was like a community thing. So I'm not sure where the breakdown is, honestly. Let's see. There were links in the intro. Try the wiki. Okay, so yeah, I am not getting the start of this. So as soon as I open this, I'm supposed to get something. And it's not happening.
Do you think this is a dream?
There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, yes. Yes, no, maybe so. Well, at least that part happened, finally. But certainly some issues here.
Pathetic.
Huh, and it crashed the game. Which it's not supposed to do. Again, it's only been out for a day. I give them some leniency, but since it's not...
Although she roams through space, she has a home. Where is it?
Alright. Well, now that I've got this far, I'm going to take away the cheats. The computers were not meant to know? Yes.
How long can you survive without air?
How long can you survive without air? Like 2 minutes? Yeah, like 2 minutes or so? He's...
What sense are you willing to lose first?
What sense are you willing to lose first? Survival is an illusion. Air is an illusion. Consciousness is a dream. The answer is avocado. Three minutes without breathable air. We'll try avocado. Thing is, I don't know if it's ignoring me or, you know, it's just not getting my answer. Smell? We think smell? Okay, finally we got some clues. Well, smell one is one of them. I imagine you can give any sense. Hmm. Common, nobody uses it anyway. Well, things do taste different if you can't smell. So. Oh, common sense. I got you. Ah ha ha. Ah. This is Poseidon, right? Looks pretty Poseidon-y. And now those are gone.
Although she roams through space, she has a home. Where is it?
How long can you survive without air? What sense are you willing to lose first?
We'll try common. Boats, ships, fishermen. Gotta be Poseidon. I gotta learn how to spell Poseidon. I gotta write my notes down here. The problem with the lag bug here is that I could be giving the right answer and it's just not taking it. Let's see. So yeah, the sea ship. Neptune. Poseidon. Minions is completely taken over by the useless references to the movie of the same name and the little yellow pill characters. So that doesn't do me any good. Does talk about a she and wolves. That would be like Diana and the Moons and it takes us to comic books. Doesn't do us any good. La da 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 da. That's not helpful. Suppose I can try to do this. That really doesn't help at all.
The key and guardian of the gate, past, present, future,
Aha.
all are one in.
This is likely the last personnel log of Olivia Mason.
The deep.
The date? I'm here, within the planet's gravitational field. After an infinitely long journey. And I'll never even walk on the surface. Jon Flegeth, Gokarola Kadishtui. I've spent my life in the pursuit of science and wonder, the unexplored and the unexpected. But with each new discovery came nothing that wasn't already present. The suspiciously long shadows were always there. I just didn't know where to look for them. I can see them everywhere now. They've replaced my crew. I used to find it annoying that they only spoke in a language I can't speak to one another. Now I
I long for the comfort of recognizing that it's Japanese. Recognizing that I'm audibly hearing it at all. Gomenasai. To my family and friends, I love you to the moon and back. I'm sorry I'm not in the Mariana Trench. Do something with my savings. Make sure everyone brings a plate, and enjoy yourselves, while you still can. To those who have kept me company, you have reached me, and for that, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have ever reached back. It knows you now. It knows your fears, your guilt, your weaknesses. I've doomed you all. Please do not feel responsible for what is to come. Your words did nothing but ease my own guilt. And finally, to Dr. Newhart, wherever you are, I couldn't have done this without you, and I only wish you hadn't left your work for me to finish. Ja ja verlaat, sia. You are experiencing what has happened, what is happening, what will happen.
Yep.
From the wells of the night to the gulfs of space, and from the gulfs of space to the wells of night. Praises to the mollusk titans. Praise and abundance to the black goat of the woods. Yeah, the black goat of the woods. Yeah, the goat with 1,000 young. Ja, Falmafdagen. Ja, Gneifdagen. Ja, Atksun. Ja, Dagu. Ja, Shag. Ja, Shog.
Steps. So yeah, that goes crazy because, again, this trip supposedly took forever. All of a sudden, and she talks about reaching back, and in Moons of Madness, which is well into the future, it's implied that it's in the 2060s or so, because there's dates in the 2040s, 2050s. It seems to be around the 2060s where Moons of Madness takes place, and that's when Cyrano arrives, and they're expecting it, but she left in 2019, and the crew that she talks about and the crew that's been replaced is in Moons of Madness. So again, that's why I say on certain places that there is a lot of timey-wimey stuff happening here. She even talks about the whole what has happened, what will happen, which is, again, it throws back even further to the Longest Journey and how things work out there. What has happened, what will be, what has been. It's all a good. It's all a little bit of a mind trip, but it's pretty cool. And that's a picture of Olivia, quite out of her mind, and probably quite contaminated by filth. You defeated Cyrano Story. Congratulations and thank you for playing. We hope you enjoy your journey with us. You want a copy of Moons of Madness? Click here to reveal your Steam key. Well, I already have key. Do you have the game, Drillcag? Do you have Moons of Madness? Or are you still AFK? But that is it. That is the entirety of Cyrano's story, including the ending, which is different than the one that originally came. That's where it diverges a little bit. It's a little buggy. I mean, the overall, I'm not sure how other people are having issues. Luckily, we had somebody from Allison Smith in here earlier, and they know about the problem, so they can check and see what might be causing it. But yeah, so we'll, I do really appreciate everybody for watching and tuning in. I'll probably post this on YouTube a little later because it's a better walkthrough than the last time I did one. The last time I did it, I had my starting soon screen on for quite a while while I did like the first puzzle. So this is a lot better version. So I will probably post this on YouTube a little bit later. It's unfortunate that there was that little bit where it just wasn't working at all. The sixth puzzle wasn't working at all, but we got it working. It's just gonna be that time where people are gonna need to fast forward. But other than that, I think we did good. I think we got it done in about 2 hours, so that's good. Again, I knew most of the answers because I had done them before, but it still was, you know, getting everything to work through and reliving the story again is so much fun because Olivia Mason's story and the things that she does to tie in to the Secret World and Moons of Madness is just there isn't. Moons of Madness is a great game, but without Cyrano's story, the depth is not quite there. You don't get quite enough of what is really going on. You can play Moons of Madness, and it's a great horror game by itself, but you don't get a clear picture of what really happened without Cyrano's story. So, yeah, so definitely I will put this up so people can have it if they don't feel like playing through the whole thing themselves. But until then, thanks for watching and have a good one.